Maybe
What?
a racing stripe. Yeah, a little bacon strip.
Bacon
But
strip.
yeah, but
No,
you don't want the full Herbert Walker. You don't want that level of Bush.
I would think the bacon strip would have different levels. It wouldn't be all just one line. It'd be, maybe like a 2 and a 4 on the cut. Am I in the ballpark?
What would Jeb Bush be? What would Jeb Bush's pubes be? I mean,
Well,
besides low energy, obviously, they're just gonna be like flat, unimpressive,
what,
just
what,
like his
what,
career.
it, no, it'd just be bald. He wouldn't grow anything except maybe
Just
maybe a little
just
soul
skin tone
patch.
hair.
Yeah, maybe a little soul patch. That
Yeah,
he
but it's like skin colored.
yeah, but he does dye it a
And you're
neon.
just like, is is that a pube? I'm not sure.
He dyes it green neon when he goes to the beach.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Oh,
Uh,
it's like that. It's like that Wayne's World. Oh, hey, guess what? Jeb got pubes this year.
exactly. And
Ugh.
Jeb be like, well, I, uh, you know, I don't like to talk about it.
My personal life.
And Trump's be like, they're worst pubes ever. Very low energy.
You know what? Bush or Trump is the kind of guy I bet as he gets older, if he got any gray hairs on his pubes, he just dyes them. Like he would be that dude.
that or uh, that or he would like pluck them or something.
Oh, ooh, just Brazilian. Yeah, he's probably Brazilian wax.
Yeah. He's got the money for it.
And he's got a
Uh,
tattoo slightly above it
well,
saying,
he
"You got to
may
grab him by the dick."
grab him by the dick. Uh, fuck bitches, grab him by the dick.
Well, welcome to this people
that could
tuning into
probably
the
be.
political show.
Um, that is now like a banned joke for sexism because that could be we just have to we can't have that that is hatred. Diligently, just like Papa John, to remove that from my vocabulary. I mean, slightly different phrases from our vocab, but definitely, somebody was pulled down off of Facebook because they were looking for a tranny, as in the transmission, and
Mm-hmm.
they would not let them post that as on Facebook as hate speech.
Wait. So we're not allowed to talk about Bush or pubes?
Um,
I feel
we
like that's half our show.
probably not. I don't know. Yeah, and they allow it for some reason. They allow it. Um, I'm not sure. Probably because well, it's probably because there's only 5 people watching. There's like, oh, he's harmless. So,
I always pictured
or
Facebook.
they've got it clamped down so hard that nobody sees it.
I always pictured the Facebook kind of judges of what's allowed as like just a bunch of Judge Judys behind the scene,
Oh,
and every time they see something, they say something sassy under their breath, but it's just basically for them. There's no camera in front of them. They're probably like these
yeah.
fucking guys again.
Mm-hmm. Also, back on the pubes, Mark Zuckerberg's definitely like a Ken doll. Like he's basically a Ken doll. Is what I envision my Mark Zuckerberg to be.
Well, isn't he like a reptile man or something like that? So of course he
Possibly.
doesn't have hair, right?
Like
Rep.
it. Like is mole penis a thing? Like where your penis looks like a mole?
Hey,
If Zuckerberg does have one, that's what I view it as.
hey, I'm not a scientist, Matt. I don't know how that type of stuff works, especially coming from other worlds. But
Well, I've called myself doctor several times, but I'm not a scientist either.
I mean, we've all seen ER. Good enough.
And ET. So there you go. Scientist.
Which
We'll call ourselves scientists now.
oddly, ET
I
has
mean,
full bush.
basically, we're astrophysicists.
Right. Oddly,
Yeah,
ET has full bush.
it does.
Not many
And
people knew that.
it does?
Yes.
Who showed full bush?
It's Spielberg redone after 20 years special cut. He went back. You know how they're all about going back and perfecting their movie. That's one thing they added.
Well, it was the 80s, so they're like, it's okay to do full frontal because all you're going to see is hair. There was no grooming back then, so like there was no chance of catching a little glimpse of some labia. No, it's just you're just seeing a wig basically.
It was before the sensor was digitally put in. Like they didn't have a black bar then.
Oh,
They just had dark bush.
well, I mean, you could really consider dark bush to be censorship. I'm honestly,
Right.
I don't know as if we should allow it.
I'll allow it.
I don't know, man. Seems like censorship.
Oh, okay. Fuck. What were we going to talk about? Oh, Bush.
But then again, I am free. Yeah. Anyhow, what were we going to talk about? Georgia. Let's start with Georgia.
Would you say that was the first
Georgia,
time that anybody got distracted by Bush?
No, not even close. I get distracted by Bush all the time.
I had to put that last jab in.
So Georgia, they're basically going back to Jim Crow days, is what I hear.
Well, so again, like I was listening to some reports or reporting on it, and it's the same bullshit. But both sides are telling half truths. Now, the only thing I can really talk about is the like voting and voting registration. Like when it comes to Colorado, of course, gosh damn, fuck you, Major League Baseball, for rewarding Chug and Dick with the All-Star game while they're just killing this franchise. Fuck you, MLB. But I saw a bunch of people comparing, like they said, well, Georgia requires a photo ID and Colorado doesn't, which it's kind of a half truth because so let's say like during the presidential, I wanted a mail-in ballot. I would send in the application. I can't remember if they checked my ID or not. I don't think so, but they would give you a signature. Like you'd have to put your signature from your license is the verifier. So technically, yes, Colorado does require an ID because it's the signature on your driver's license, and it's pretty accurate. One year, like I changed my my signature up to get a new license because I was writing, like a couple hundred checks a week, so it was just a quick swish. And so I signed my ballot with that swish, and they actually didn't count. I had to go down to the county clerk, the Denver county clerk, to clear it up because the new signature I had for all the checks did not match up what was on my driver's license ID. Like it's pretty sophisticated software. So like they're half right. I mean,
Yeah.
technically, yes, it's not a photo ID, but it's the signature coming off your actual photo ID. Um, so like that was like my two
Okay.
and electioneering, man. You can't have people electioneering. You just can't. It's been that way here too. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, and okay, so the argument against any of these voter ID laws, because the Democrats have been against all of them, because the claim against it, I happen to believe this pretty wholeheartedly. I don't know how much of this is done, but every chance they can to make it easier for somebody to vote, they are pushing for it hard. Remember, Pelosi was pushing for 16-year-olds to be able to vote. Well, because 16-year-olds are fucking stupid. Even the smart ones are fucking stupid. And and guess who has all the media and the culture on their side? The Democrats. So of course they want the younger the better to vote. It's all pocket. It's all electioneering, all politics, all the fucking time. And now you have like these big corporations coming, like the MLB, who pays no taxes, by the way, which I'm okay with if everybody's paying no taxes.
Right.
But if I'm paying taxes and quite a little bit of taxes, the goddamn Major League Baseball corporation and their owners, who all those stadiums, by the way, are publicly financed. There's not a
Oh yeah.
single stadium that is that is owned completely by the the franchise. So that's a public stadium. You're talking about how this right to vote deal is disenfranchising blacks and minorities, as if your regular average black person can't figure out how to get a fucking driver's license. Because that's how much they think of the black and brown community, is they're playing this race card as that blacks and browns are too stupid to figure out how to get an ID or to get internet access or whatever it takes to get an ID to be able to fucking vote. It's all patent horseshit, that they're just just using racial politics to drive it all. It's absurd.
Well, and I thought about it too. Like I don't know, like Georgia. Well, look at how close Georgia was in this last election, right? You probably got 50% Democrat, 50% Republican. Like, say what you will about all the laws, but by
Yeah,
them taking away the All-Star game, you're also taking away money from the people who did
yeah,
not vote for, people in power. So, it's just like,
exactly,
I mean, you're
exactly.
punishing.
You are you're in punishing the entire city of Atlanta, and and further like the entire state of Georgia, who is a pretty heavy swing state right now. They don't call them swing states anymore. They call them battlegrounds, because that's how they want you thinking, is it's a fight against the other side, a war against the other side, when it's just warring dipshits that you're voting for. Um, but anyhow, you're punishing the entire state, uh, because you're supposedly disenfranchising black and minority communities, but yet you're taking money out of that community. Like people, what? How far ahead do they plan the All Star game? Like 4 or 5 years, something like that.
Well, right now they said the Rockies got 14 weeks, and they were actually next on the list. I think they give them a year out. Um, I'll be curious to see
Okay,
what they
so
can pull
you
within
got all the
14 weeks.
yeah, but either way, you're talking at least a year out that this shit gets kind of locked in. You're getting the All Star game, and and now you basically just renege on your contract and pull out, give it to somebody else, and you're taking money that that those communities, mostly black communities in Atlanta, I don't know if they're aware at the MLB that Atlanta has a ton of black people. I mean, like a whole lot of them. I don't know if they're aware that they have those statistics at the MLB. Um, but you're so all those businesses right around the stadium there for like basically that whole week, or it's like what 3 or 4 days for AllStar Break,
Oh no,
and it's all going to be there in Atlanta.
it's 2 weeks. So I went to the All-Star game in 2004 in Houston, and they had All-Star stuff weeks in advance. Not to mention the All-Star like experience at the convention center. People just come down. Then you've got like the futures game, you got the softball game, you got the home run derby, you got the All-Star game, and then this year I heard they're putting MLB was wanting to do an outside baseball experience, and so now they're gonna swing it through City Park, which City Park is a freaking mess right now. I don't know how they're gonna swing that, but yeah, it's a couple weeks, and they said about $200 million estimate will go through Denver. And some of those businesses in Georgia probably would have really benefited from this since like COVID and all this other shit.
Yeah. So like, it seems like they might have a legitimate lawsuit. But I can't imagine that there was some clause written into this contract that voids the agreement if the Georgia legislature decides to change voting laws. I mean, you wouldn't think, as OnStar, you wouldn't think that would really play into a legal contract. I wouldn't believe.
They couldn't foresee that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, maybe weirder things have happened, I guess. But yeah, I'd be fucking pissed if I lived in Atlanta right now.
I'm so pissed. I know this is so political, but I just want to take the politics out. It's bullshit. Major League Baseball giving chugging dick the All-Star game. They just gave him another year for another pass. Whatever. Another year, you get another pass because they're making money.
I won't watch another baseball game this year because fuck. What? When is the last time I've looked to anybody from Major League Baseball for political advice and the moral outrage, whether moral outrage is deserved over voting laws? I've never once looked to the MLB for advice on that. I know all the players and Rob Manfred and everybody have their own opinions, but if I wanted to know something about the game of baseball, I would ask you that, not about fucking voting rights in Georgia. Jesus Christ, can we just play baseball?
No.
Fuck you, MLB. I don't want to watch you anymore. Like, you are ruining baseball. My first sport that I ever loved. You are fucking ruining it by your bullshit political platitudes. What did you gain there? Well, you transferred money from one community to another, and who did you help? Absolutely fucking nobody. But hey, out on social media, you fucking dipshits.
Man.
God damn it.
All right, well, fuck.
Well, that was kind of a doozy, wasn't it?
That was
Jesus.
That was man. I feel like every episode we sound crankier and crankier. Like we are like one summer away from yelling at kids in our front lawn. Like I'm this close.
Well, I'm coaching softball. Like it's a real small community here, so it's a baseball softball team. It's just they call it the farm team. It's like the basically coach pitch, but so we got boys and girls, and so we're trying to everything. But so I'm literally yelling at kids to get off the grass.
So then, what is your baseball's team's name? Because that really tells you how legit of a baseball team. I mean, if
I
Nick
don't
ever
I
has a
don't know.
baseball
I'm not
team,
really. I'm
the Wind. I think the Wind would be a top
the
notch
wind.
choice.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure how the damn team name selection process goes. I'm not
Matt,
really sure how any of it goes.
that's the first thing you
I'm
have
just
to
trying to
check,
teach
Matt.
kids how to fucking win.
That's the first thing you have to ask, Matt, is what is the name? Like how old are these kids?
True. Mm, 7 to 9.
Oh yeah. The only fucking thing they care about is what the team name is. That's it. Like you
Yeah.
may teach them some stuff,
Yeah.
but
I'm thinking the samurai maybe
the samurai. Yeah,
because that's just a classy ninja.
that is.
I mean, tell me I'm wrong.
The samurai.
Yep.
Do you think
Smith Valley Samurai.
we always talk about our
Does that not roll off the tongue very well?
I well, this is I bring it. What comes to mind is the name that we all want to. If anybody in our group has a bar or a band, you should name them the Fuck Matt McKinleys.
Ah, yeah, I don't know how well that would fly for 7 to 9 year olds. I'm all in favor of it. I'm just not quite sure how to pitch that one yet. I'll have to spend some time thinking on it.
Well, they can't
I'll uh,
accept
I'll
that.
have to I'll have to carefully craft that narrative. And speaking of carefully crafted narratives, let's talk about 60 Minutes.
Oh man, did you read that article?
I read the article. I watched the interview. Um, Let me see. Where did you text that to me, or did you send it
The
on Instagram?
article. I think it was the text message variety.
Okay, let me see if I can pull that up.
So
Uh,
should I give some backstory then?
um, yeah, go ahead.
So backstory is 60 Minutes did a story on. Do you still hear me? Sorry, messed up. All
Yep,
right.
go
So
ahead.
60 Minutes did a story on the vaccine rollout, and of course I only saw the clip that I sent you, but I read everything online. Did a
Yeah.
story on DeSantis, the governor, and his rollout of the vaccine. If you just watch the 60 Minutes, basically the segment, they were basically implying that what's the pharmaceutical or what's the company, the grocery store chain that
Publix.
they're Publix. So they said
Publix.
Publix gave
Yeah.
DeSantis
PUBLIX.
they gave DeSantis $100,000, and then all of a sudden, DeSantis gave them exclusive rights to basically distribute the vaccine. Well, come to find out, Publix also donated to other Democrats. Come to find out that actually it wasn't exclusive. Walgreens and I can't remember either Walgreens and Walmart or somebody else also was delivering the vaccine, and the reason they gave them a giant load at one time was because Publix was the chain that was ready to deliver. They also did an analysis of their goal was to basically focus on the older people, the older population. That was their focus. They thought they could save the most lives that way. So they did a study and found out that nearly 90% of I can't people over a certain age lived around the Publix. So there was a strategy there. But if you
Yeah.
just watch the 60 Minutes, basically, she confronted him at a news conference and they only had a little tidbit. But if you just watch that 60 Minutes, they were trying to basically say that there was a connection from the $100,000 donation and basically them getting exclusive rights to the vaccine. And so
Yeah. So I've got a video that plays side by side the clips, and it's pretty interesting. Let's see if I can put it up on the screen.
I mean, with all these people getting fired from journalism jobs, this should be up there of things that be a fireable offense. I mean, you're
Yeah,
distorting a story.
yeah.
Can you hear it?
Yeah. Can you hear?
No, but that's all right. I've already seen this.
Okay.
So that was the 60 Minutes interview.
Yeah, and so this is the full
Or not 60 Minutes
public
interview,
access channel.
but the 60 Minutes cut.
Mm. They're saying no audio on Facebook, so um, yeah, whatever.
Go check it out, people. It's interesting.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the comments and whatnot. So yeah, it's really interesting. So, but basically, um, long story short, it was just classic media manipulation. Just what they were saying. Well, it was factually accurate, I suppose. They left out so much information, spun it, that it made it really look like there was a whole bunch of shady, underhanded dealings, which does happen. It happens a lot. I'm not opposed to that thinking that shit happens because it does. However, this was not the case. It
Well,
was
and on
yeah,
top of all
it was
that,
just nonsense. Like they're
on top of all that, you have the mayor of one of the cities that's a Democrat, and you have, I can't remember if it
mhm.
was the Health and Human Services person who's a Democrat, who basically like said this is just a total crock. I mean, there was strategy involved. This wasn't a quid pro quo. Okay, calm down, Matt. I know I said quid pro quo. Calm.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. uh, well, that pro quo shouldn't be a bad term. It should just be an accepted term of reality because that's how the world fucking works. You don't do something for me, I do something for you. That's when you buy something, that is quid pro quo. Like,
What? Well, and you know what?
yeah,
That's
it's
that's false, Matt. Because I give you my love and get nothing in return.
well, you were fake news. Um, no, it's just a blatant attempt at it, the media is really like just hanging on to all like final last straws of this COVID stuff to just push like complete authoritarianism, and they're coming at DeSantis because he was the crazy maniac who opened back in September and has done pretty fucking well for himself and the state, like done pretty goddamn good.
I tell you, going to Florida though, oh my god. So they're not as strict on masks as they are here, and I'm all vaccinated up.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to sit at a bar. I got to drink a scotch with my brother-in-law. Then we participated in some karaoke where we sang Bohemian Rhapsody, and we were the fucking talk of the hotel.
Awesome.
It was pretty good.
I'm proud of you. I did. Yeah, I've been doing that since like fucking June, buddy. So
but it's gonna be different than city folk compared to you guys. It'll just be different. We're packed in here.
No, I understand. And I've avoided cities well my whole life anyways, but especially as I get older, and then when this COVID deal, I was like, well, you really don't have to give me an extra reason to go to town.
Right.
Like, and from all aspects of the COVID angle, like the masks or actually getting sick, like none of it. I don't want any of it. I don't want to have to be forced to wear a mask. I don't want the chance of getting sick. And there's not that many people out where I live, and I like it that way. So I'm cool. I'll hang out here. I'm socially distanced from the beginning, man.
Speaking of cowboys living in places not well populated, that Boots is a cool little old cowboy. He's been doing it for a while. Jeez Louise. What did he say? He was born in 32, and then he started cowboying in 1949, did he say?
He said he was about 12 or 13 when he got his when he started just cowboying full time. He told me 66 years he's been a horseback for a living.
That's awesome, man.
Dude's he's just a folk hero at this point. Like, he's just a living legend. And like if you could just like boil down old school Texas cowhand into one person, it would be Boots O'Neill.
So I had a question after, of course, watching Lonesome Dove. I feel like I have one question for you every time. So
yeah,
and this might be back in the day, that this might be today. Do you got guys who are like cow punchers, do the drive with cows, and then are maybe like able to drive like horses? Because he was a cow punch, but then he said he broke in horses. So is there like, can you do both? Like there's some similar skill sets, but not all of them.
Yeah, it's the same, but it's completely different, if that makes any sense. Like you're still working with horses, and it's still your basic principles of how to move them around apply, but you're dealing with typically bigger animals, and it's a little different, but anybody who's good with the horse can get by either way. But there's obviously guys that do it better than others, and like Teamsters was. Teamsters was just as common as a truck driver back in the day. That's where the Teamsters union started, was people driving freight wagons.
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty common job title back those days. So
is one easier over the other, in your opinion?
It depends on the job. Like if you're just like going down the road, I mean, it's just driving a truck, it'd be just the same thing, just driving a
Yeah.
wagon if you got a good team. Um, there's breaking into equipment, but it, it's nothing near the same as breaking an animal. So,
Yeah.
you can buy a brand new truck and just, you know, hook your trailer up and just head on down the road, no problem, as long as it's got fuel and whatever. You go, but you can't just buy a new horse and hook it to a team and go. I mean, you could. It'd be pretty awesome to watch. I'm I'm not gonna lie. I would enjoy watching it, but it's not gonna go very well.
The the line that killed me was the line they put in the newspaper when he was the backup for the horse riding at 50 something years old.
Yeah,
Would they say something to the extent like, "Oh, it looks like he's good thing he didn't have to do it because it looked like he rode
he's
too
rode.
many horses."
Yeah, yeah. Well, I liked how he put it. He's like, I didn't wanna, I didn't want to ride it, but if I had to, I guess I could probably slip one by him. And I thought that was a good line.
Right.
That is a very good, confident, humble man right there. Because he's
Right.
like, I'd get him rode, but he didn't want to say out and like, oh, I'd stick it to him. I'd slip one by him. Like that was one of the classier lines I've ever heard.
that, that was pretty good. Yeah, that was good interview, man. He's a pretty cool dude.
Well, that's
Shit, doing that long.
that's a yeah. See, that's a little cowboy insight for you. That's like that was a slick, clever little line right there to be like, yeah, I knew I could do it, but not coming. That's an old school way of giving yourself a pat on the back without sounding too much like it.
Right. Not sound like, oh shit, if I had a
Yeah.
chance. If I had a chance. Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. The gentlemanly way to do it, I guess.
It sounded
He's
very
yeah, he's cool. I was Go ahead.
it sounded very Val Kilmer in Tombstone ish. That line.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I think so. He's yeah, that guy's a freaking legend.
Cool, man. Yeah, I of course City Slick and Me never heard of them.
He's yeah, he's kind of a cult hero here in the cowboy world.
That's cool,
And
man.
I've never got so much feedback from an episode as I did with this one. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
People liked it.
Oh, wanted to do my
Oh,
can we do our politician of the week and our shithead of the week?
yeah, go ahead.
Politician of the
Let's
week.
who we doing first? We
Let's do
going
let's
good or
let's
bad first? Let's get the
let's do
bad
the
out of it.
you want to do the bad? Okay, you go first then. I gotta think. I didn't think
Yeah, and
this
we'll
was
we'll, uh, we'll send the regular. Sorry, go ahead. I was saying we'll wrap up the main episode with our good and bad politicians. So we'll send them out with the good. So let's do the bad off the bat.
all right. This was one of the few weeks I had well, I was in Florida, so I don't have a bad, but I just saw one good.
Hmm.
But I'm sure you have plenty to pick from after fucking reading some of the news.
Oh yeah, yeah. So there's a long laundry list of ones to go with, but since I went on a rant about meaningless platitudes, and just there's one thing I can't I can't abide by any on either side. And this is why last week I ripped Ted Cruz a new asshole for his antics down at the border, which haven't changed since the time when he was in power and his party was in power and had a chance to maybe do something about it. But no, anyway, 4 years later, here he is, seizing on that media opportunity, something he could have done, when his state was, I don't know, under a blizzard and whatnot. Could have done his media opt-in instead of going to fucking Cancun.
It's like what the cat from Rifle Coffee said on your interview. You're really surprised that Ted Cruz is grandstanding and not really doing anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And I'm not surprised, but like this is the side where my people come from, where I come from. Like he's one of the guys like I look to as like he's most of the time kind of got his head in the right spot. So when he's doing some dumb shit, I'm gonna call him out on it, because if you can't call out your own side, you're a fucking hypocrite, and that's one thing we cannot abide by on Fence Post Politics. I'm not right.
Damn right. Damn right.
So Ted Cruz, you get off the hook this week. You didn't do anything stupid that I'm aware of, anyways. Who did though? Representative Ilhan Omar, you dirty, dirty bitch.
What now, dude?
So a crazy guy ran his car into the Capitol building, stabbed a Capitol Hill police officer. I think killed him, if I remember right.
When
Killed
was
a Capitol
this?
Hill police officer somehow. It was earlier this week.
Shit,
Crazy
I missed
guy.
that.
Of course, the immediate media narrative is, crazy white guy. And if I don't know any of the details. All I know is it did not fit the typical media narrative, angry white guy with an AR-15. But they still have to inject that into the narrative, and Ilhan Omar was so upset by this Capitol Hill police officer being killed. But just think of how much more damage he could have done had it been an AR-15 instead of a knife.
Just had to interject it, man.
Stupid bitch.
She just had to interject
stupid
it.
Fucking bitch. Fuck you. Fuck you. I cannot abide by any of that.
Well, and doesn't that like
that
immediately cheapens his death? Like immediately.
Mm-hmm. Immediately. You throw him into the political whirlwind. The dude was probably getting ready to go home for the fucking day, go to his family. Got killed by a crazy person, and meaningless platitudes. Ilhan Omar, fuck you, and your agenda. God damn it.
So was Ted Cruz technically?
That's my bad.
Was Ted Cruz a good politician of the week, or was that just neutral?
No, I got a good good politician. I'm just saying, why I went so hard against Ted Cruz. It's not that I don't like Ted Cruz. I just if I can't call out my own side, then I'm a hypocrite. And when he's doing some dumb shit, I'm gonna come at him real hard.
It was your
qualifier. To come at them. It is so easy to come at these Democratic politicians because they're a bunch of fucking clowns. Give me any day and I'll find you 5 shitty Democratic politicians of the week, with very little research done. But anyhow, so you didn't have any bad politicians?
I thought about it. Yeah, I do. I got to go with Matt. I got to go with another grandstander who also seems to just do press conference stunts and doesn't really participate in any legislation that goes through. Is Mr. Matt Gaetz. If
I can agree with that one.
If the allegations are true, whew, that's bad.
If the allegations are true, I'm I'm all on board if he needs to be castrated, whatever he has to be done. For those not aware, Matt Gaetz is one of those conservative up and coming rock stars. All aboard the Trump train. Has been accused of uh, sexual relationship with a 17-year-old, which in most states is not a crime. 17 is the age of consent in most states. However, in Florida, it is not. 18 is the age of consent in Florida. You can ask a guy that Matt Gaetz has talked about at length, Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes.
Now, who
Yes.
Matt Gaetz has been accused of essentially doing the same thing on a lower scale, mind you. I mean, granted, he doesn't have an island. However, though,
He's about to be in
he's
Rikers
been
Island.
accused of like if what this says is right,
Right.
and I don't know if it happens, I'm not surprised. If it turns out to be bullshit and a hit piece, I won't be surprised.
I won't be. Yep.
You know why?
That's what I
Because
said today.
you know why? You know why? Because they're politicians, and to borrow a phrase from one of my favorite podcasts, the Drinking Bros, Mr. Dan Holloway over there, all politicians are cunts. Hashtag APAC. So yeah, either way, I won't be surprised. I hope it's not true because I hope that's not happening. I like to have a little more general faith in humanity. But if it turns out to be true and all you Trump dick sucking Republicans that can't get off the Trump train and you can't call him out for that, then you're a bunch of hypocrites. It's
Fucking McKinley.
yeah, whatever. So if that is true, fuck you, Matt Gaetz. I hope you rot in hell. If not, then whoever made the story up, fuck you. I hope you rot in hell. You're all a bunch of cunts. I mean that's all to sum it all up. Yeah.
You know what we should
So
do? We should get T-shirts for the show that says "salty as fuck."
salty AF.
Right?
I'll shoot a text to my cousin and see if she
Oh
can whip one
my
up.
god! I would wear that shit around all day, all day.
Crusty as fuck, not salty.
Crusty as fuck. That's good too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Crusty AF. That's gonna be copyright.
Copyright. Okay.
All right. So who's your good politician of the
The
week?
good politician is, let me get her exact name. So there was a Senate, I think it was Senate election in Iowa, where the Republican won by 6 votes. I mean,
this is a House seat. Yes.
Was it House? Okay.
Yep.
So Hart, she went through basically the process of challenging this and that. I don't know how close she was because she never verified, but apparently somehow Nancy Pelosi had the power to basically give the seat to the Democrat instead of the Republican. I don't know what power it was, but there's a power. It's been used before. And this lady Hart finally said, you know what? I give up. She's the rightful person who won this. So I'm going to give up. So technically she's not even a politician. But she's
not an elected official. She's very much a politician.
But
so this is the Democrat chick that is just basically conceding, said no.
Yeah. Yep. And she went through the processes, and you know what? Good for her, because I wouldn't have been surprised if Nancy Pelosi gave the seat to the Democrat, because
no, I wouldn't be either.
So good for her, man. We need more of that.
Yeah.
Which is
and go ahead. Yeah.
Well, which is sad because fucking we're praising somebody who just literally did the right thing. They said, "Yep, a certified election. It's certified. I agree with it. I went through all my challenges and processes. Nothing came of it. Boom, done."
Yeah. Well, and this is why I have so much respect for Tulsi Gabbard, because like for all these politicians that will get on a grandstand and talk about how we need um, term limits. They'll all say like we need term limits. Need term limits. Does any bill ever come up to institute term limits? No, no bill ever comes up. Um, but there are those people that say, no, you shouldn't be a career politician. You know, it's a public servant. You get in, you get out, and you go back to your living your life. Tulsi Gabbard willingly gave up power. Like I said, that seat for her in Hawaii, she probably could have had it till she died. Probably
Right.
could have moved up to senator at some point. And you know what? She stepped away. Good on her.
Well, and
Is her
if they're
economic policy good? Fuck no. It's god awful. But good on her. She's a reasonable person.
well, and then I always said if they're always serious about term limits, like why don't you enact it yourself? I never see it. You know, the term
Yeah,
this
do
this
it. Do
this
it to
this.
yourself.
Right, right. So I
Mm-hmm.
always thought that was fucking ridiculous
Yeah,
because all of them say term limits, but that never happens.
yeah, and until some allegation of sexual misconduct or whatever comes up,
Something
and
comes up.
then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, I think it's time to
Time to,
retire. Spend some more time with my family."
and then sometimes your little ladybugs are discovered, and you just keep on going, like
You
time
just keep on
itself.
plugging because you can't cover up them ladybugs.
No,
Shit, you just rock those ladybugs. Uh,
if you see the
Lindsey
ladybugs,
Graham,
they're
I don't
seared
think.
into your brain.
I'll say right now, if Lindsey Graham ever makes a good politician of the week, it's going to be a cold day in hell for me. But I guess weirder things have happened. But my good politician of the week is Ron DeSantis and his stance against these vaccine passports that are being floated around, including by the Biden administration.
I don't feel good.
Nothing.
I don't like that either, man. I'll agree with you
Oh,
on that.
fuck no. It's just another way, another form of show me your papers. I know people have got lit up for comparing it to Nazi Germany, but when it literally is a set of papers, essentially, that you must show to do commerce, to travel across state lines, to do all your normal things of life, much like the Jews had to do in Nazi Germany. Maybe there's not the racial, religious context there, but it's a same fucking thing. And no, fuck you. I'm all out on that. And Ron DeSantis said, no, we ain't doing that shit here in Florida. I'm not a guy that is really ever in favor of an executive assuming that much power, but that's an important one. Good on you, Ron DeSantis. Good on you.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
Man,
So
you're fired up. Look at you. You're fired up tonight, McKinley. Holy
it
hell.
was a good one, huh? It was a good one. Well, you got anything else you want to send out to the regular crew before we go, or the broader crew before we go
if
Patreon?
you know what, the last message I want to say, if you're like a Rockies fan, a true Rockies fan, God, I know it's going to be tempting. Well, you know what? I can't even say this because our friends want to go to the All-Star game. I get it because they're only here every 24 years. I get the experience. But if it's like, just don't go to a regular game. Don't give these guys any money. If you want to go to the All-Star game, great. If you want to do Rockies Fantasy Camp because your dad's 72 years old and you want to play baseball with him, do it. Don't give him any fucking money. Just none. Just give him no fucking money. Watch him on TV. You're not giving any money watching him on TV because you're paying for the package anyway. But just don't go to any games.
What?
Fuck it.
Go find it on the internet. Like go to Reddit and find the MLB streams and stream it from there. So that way nobody gets any money from this. You still get to enjoy baseball, but fuck the MLB. Don't give them any money. God damn it. Seriously, when you start considering yourself an entertainment organization again, entertaining us by playing fucking baseball, I'll start watching. But when you're interjecting your shit into politics needlessly, you're not helping anybody by doing this. Uh, No, I don't support that. So I'll still watch it, but if I do it, I will pirate it somewhere so that the MLB gets zero fucking money from that.
From your VPN in Virginia.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. And on that note, Aaron, what do we got?
Move your ass. We're burning daylight. Burning the shit out of it.
Boom! Burning. I did like the last one. Not gonna lie, that was pretty good. All right, I gotta take a leak, and then
hey, me too.
And then we'll come back for the I don't know however long we feel like it.
All right, I didn't sleep at all, so I got